It's time to make some LEDs, like this guy that has T-Rex bone in it. If you've ever wondered how the heck do they make these LED lens things, I'm going to teach you right now. So if you look at a finished one, the artifacts are really floating in the middle. Probably the most important part of this whole process is to layer the epoxy. So that is the step we're going to do tonight, is just that first layer, a little 1 or 2 millimeter drop. So this time I'm using this epoxy. Before in the past I used this, but honestly all this stuff is exactly the same. Just get like the cheapest one, as long as it says these kind of things like crystal clear, resist yellow, self-leveling, like all that's good. So a quick side note, pretty soon we're going to be doing some LEDs with this guy. It is a World War II knife. Nobody has guessed yet what the name of the pedal is though, so put in the comments, what do you think the name of our next pedal is? If you guess it right, nothing will happen, but you'll be proud. Everything needs to be very, very clean between the tops. This one's a little less viscous. Mix them both in 1 cup, and we start mixing a lot. 3 to 5 minutes maybe. You're going to see a lot of bubbles in it. You have to get them out eventually, or at least try to get most of them out. But that step comes later. You don't really have to get the bubbles out now. Make sure all your things are still clean. You didn't get any fuzzies or dog hairs or anything in them. And now we do just a tiny, tiny drop. This creates a barrier between the top of the LED lens and the artifact. So it looks like the artifact, well, it doesn't look like, it is floating in the epoxy, not on the very top of it where you can see it. Look who's making another cameo. And I tried to run a pedal off of a little tiny engine using only fire, and the results are pretty shocking and awesome. So definitely check out that video. And like and subscribe, please. So if you want to get the bubbles out, sometimes the bubbles look cool and people want the bubbles in there, but if you want to get them out, probably don't use a torch for your first time doing it, because you can end up just burning the epoxy, but you can use a heat gun or a blow dryer or something. Put it on really, really low, and you just kind of super quick and light. So you just want to get the epoxy warm so the bubbles kind of come out. So I thought I was going insane because I saw a bubble, a single bubble at the very center of every single one. I even got my razor and was trying to see, but then I realized it's just the reflection of my light. I will be back here tomorrow to go on to the most important step, putting the artifacts in and doing the last layer of epoxy. All right, we're back. It is about 24 hours later. It's not totally cured yet, which is really good since we're doing the second layer now. We're also running low on the meteorite for the Ecomonster, Meteoric Ecomonster, and that is a combination of dust and bigger chunks. I was using tweezers and picking out little pieces, and it was really difficult. So I learned this. You just tap it and bigger chunks come out, and then you go back a second time and do it with more like the dusty, smaller chunks. You just do a little tappity tap, get some of the smaller, finer dust particles in there. So if you look, it's pretty even. So everyone is a snowflake. Everyone is unique. And like I mentioned on the website, if people think that this is a huge part of the cost of our pedals, it's not. If you look at pretty big chunk, we're using a very, very, very small amount. And now for the meteorite. Just a little bit of this space dust. All right, that is them all filled up. So what we really want at the end of this is like a little wafer thing. Pop it out of there, and it's like this. That way we can cut them really easily, and then we have some surface area around them to help glue them into the pedal. You do want to fill up each one individually first. If you just kind of pour it all on top, you're going to get a lot of bubbles. Once you've poured each one, then you can kind of slobber a bunch of it on the top, move it around a bit. If you want one with the special LEDs, make sure you get it relatively soon. Otherwise, it won't have the special LEDs in it, which does absolutely nothing to the sound. I want to make that very clear. It is pretty awesome to look down at your pedal and see T-Rex bone in it or meteorite in it. All right, here they are. Some of the bubbles you can just get out right now by just doing that. All right, once you got that good, you come in with the razor. If you see bubbles, if you see specks of dust or whatever, this is the last chance you have to deal with it. Here they are about another day later, pretty much hardened, but still a little bit soft. You want to wait until they're honestly like a week, maybe even more than a week, until they're really, really hard as like glass. But after about a week, they will look like that. And that is how we make our special LEDs here at Hangman FX. Thank you for joining me today on this wonderful adventure, this wonderful educational journey. Like and subscribe and comment and all that stuff, please. Thank you very much.